Have you ever noticed that two people can have the same dream, the same opportunity, even the same level of talent, yet one succeeds while the other gives up? What's the difference? Often, it's not intelligence, it's not luck, it's not even resources, it's belief. Welcome back to Think and Grow Rich series. This is Reshma from Inner Compass, your guide to self mastery. In episode 1, we explored the power of thought. In episode 2, we discovered that desire is the starting point of all achievement. But desire alone is not enough because a thought without belief remains a wish, and a desire without faith often disappears the moment obstacles appear. Today, we explore the principle that bridges the gap between wanting and achieving faith. Napoleon Hill called faith the head chemist of the mind because it transforms thoughts into conviction and conviction into action. Today, we'll discover how faith works, how to develop it, and how to use it to create the success you desire. And stay until the end because I'll be sharing practical action steps and accountability exercises, and you can start using that immediately. Faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major positive emotions. Love and faith are psychic. Sex is purely biological. The blending of these three emotions has the effect of opening a direct line of communication between the finite thinking mind and the infinite intelligence. The question comes, how do we develop faith? Faith is a state of mind which may be created by affirmations or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of auto-suggestion. Your subconscious accepts what you repeatedly tell it. Hill says, faith is not an accident, it's a mental habit. By following the instructions laid down in the next chapter, which is auto-suggestion, and chapter 12, the subconscious mind, you will be able to convince the mind that you believe you will receive what you desire, and then your subconscious mind passes back the belief to you in the form of faith, followed by definite plans to act upon. Faith is a state of mind which you develop at will, and it develops voluntarily through application and use of these 13 principles described in this book. Repetition of affirmations and giving instructions to your subconscious mind is the only known method to develop the emotion of faith. All thoughts which have been emotionalized and mixed with faith begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent. And now here is the warning. Your subconscious mind does not judge whether your thoughts are good or bad. It will work on the negative thoughts just as easily as positive thoughts. That's why people who constantly think about failure, problems, fear, bad outcomes often seem to attract more of them. What many people called bad luck or misfortune is often the result of repeatedly focusing on negative thoughts. Your belief and faith controls how your subconscious mind responds. If you repeatedly tell yourself something through auto-suggestion, your subconscious mind will begin to accept it as true, even if it is not true yet. Conduct yourself just as you would if you were already in the position of the thing you are demanding. You have to see it in your imagination before it becomes your reality. Your dominant thought or emotion is going to become a reality for you. We are what we are because of the vibrations of thought which we pick up and register through the stimuli of our daily environment. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the basis of all miracles and mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is the element, the chemical, which, when mixed with prayer, gives one direct communication with infinite intelligence. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibration of thought into the spiritual equivalent. Faith is the only agency through which the cosmic force of infinite intelligence can be harnessed and used by man. Every one of these statements is capable of proof. The proof is simple and easily demonstrated. It is wrapped up in the principle of autosuggestion. Let us center our attention and find out what it is and what it is capable of achieving. Napoleon Hill asks us, build our own life to order. Taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. This handicap can be translated into courage through the principle of autosuggestion. The application of this principle may be made through a simple arrangement of positive thoughts stated in writing, memorized, and repeated until they become a part of the working equipment of the subconscious faculty of your mind. Here is the self-confidence formula and the 5 steps given by Napoleon Hill. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward, physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. Declare and commit. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to my memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. All impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in their physical equivalent. The subconscious mind, the chemical laboratory in which all thoughts and emotions are combined and made ready for translation into physical reality, makes no distinction between constructive and destructive thoughts. It works with the material we feed it. The subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by courage or faith. Look at this story of the power of faith, Mahatma Gandhi, one of the astounding examples known to civilization. Mahatma Gandhi had more potential power than any man living at his time. Despite the fact that he had none of the orthodox tools of power, such as money, battleships, soldiers, and materials of warfare, he did have power. How did he have that power? He created it out of his understanding of the principle of faith and through his ability to transplant that faith into the minds of 200 million people. Gandhi has accomplished, through the influence of faith, that which strongest military power on the earth could not and never will accomplish. The feat of influencing 200 million minds to move in unison as a single mind. What other force on earth except faith could do as much? Consider the story of Charles M. Schwab and the creation of US Steel. In 1900, Charles M. Schwab, then president of Carnegie Steel, delivered a powerful speech to a group of influential business leaders. Instead of focusing on technical details, he shared a bold vision, bringing together several steel companies to create one massive organization that could dominate the industry. His confidence, enthusiasm, and absolute faith in the idea captured the attention of financier J.P. Morgan, one of the most powerful bankers in America. Morgan saw the potential in Schwab's vision and agreed to finance the deal. As a result, United States Steel Corporation was formed in 1901, becoming the first corporation in the world valued at more than $1 billion. Napoleon Hill uses this story to show that great achievements often begin with a single idea backed by unwavering faith. Schwab's belief in his vision was so strong that it inspired others to invest billions of dollars to make it a reality. Plus, the faith with which he conveyed it to the minds of J.P. Morgan and others was marketed for a profit of approximately $600 million. Certainly not an insignificant sum for a single idea. If you are one of those who have often wondered how great fortunes are accumulated, this true story of the creation of the United States Steel Corporation will be enlightening. If you have any doubt that one can think and grow rich, this should erase that doubt. Because you can plainly see in the story of the United States Steel the application of a major portion of the 13 principles described in this book. First, the huge United States of Steel Corporation was born in the mind of Charles M. Schwab in the form of an idea he created through his imagination. Second, he mixed faith with his idea. Third, he formulated a plan for the execution of his idea into physical and financial reality. Fourth, he put his plan into action with his famous speech at the University Club. Fifth, he applied and followed through on his plan with persistence and backed it with firm decision until it had been fully carried out. Sixth, he prepared the way for success by a burning desire. Riches begin in the form of thought. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. The law of autosuggestion, through which any person may rise to altitudes of achievement, which stagger the imagination, is well described in the following verse. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but if you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you are lost. For out of the world we find success begins with the fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but soon or late the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Observe the words which have been emphasized, and you will catch the deep meaning which the poet had in mind. Somewhere in your makeup, there lies sleeping the seed of achievement, which, if aroused and put into action, would carry you to heights such as you may never have hoped to attain. This chapter on faith was truly inspiring. One of the biggest takeaways is that both faith and fear are invisible forces. Neither can be seen, yet both have the power to shape our thoughts, decisions, actions, and results. The question is, which one are you feeding every day? In our next video, we will dive into chapter 4 and explore the third step towards riches, auto-suggestion. The next episode will be released on Tuesday, June 23rd. Be sure to check the description below for your action steps and accountability assignments so you can start applying these principles right away. Until then, keep believing in yourself, keep taking action, and keep moving closer to the life you desire. I'm Reshma from Inner Compass, your guide to self-mastery. See you in the next video.